I've been playing this game called Gambit recently, and while overall I've enjoyed my time with the game quite a bit, it definitely has multiple problems as well. My main focus with this video is not to properly review Gambit or even to talk about all the flaws that the game currently has, but focus on one very specific thing that bothers me about the game. This specific problem is quite fundamental for the feel of the game, and it's an important thing you really only think about when it's not done very well. You see, Gambit has very bad feedback for successful attacks, and with this I mean in both the moments where the player lands a hit on the enemy or the enemy lands a hit on the player character. While there are some specific instances where there are some special animations for getting hit which have a lot better visual feedback, most of the attacks completely lack impact, even to such extent that at times I didn't even notice that I got hit by something before I took a quick look at my health meter, only to notice I was nearly dying. Or even worse, died before I even noticed anything. Getting hit in Gambit only leads to a very slight flinch on your character and a blood effect which can easily get lost within the chaos that very often fills the screen, especially during the boss fights. This visual effect can also be very confusing when it's paired with the dodging ability available in the game that has very similar bloody visual effects. Even the hits you deal to the enemies seriously lack impact, even if there's a white flash indicating that the enemy has been hit. That does help a bit. So in this video I'm going to quickly talk about something that is my personal favorite way to create that greater sense of impact on hits. Hit stop. Hit stop is a visual trick in video games where during a successful hit on either the player or the enemy, the game screen pauses all movement for a very brief moment, usually for no more than a few frames. This hit stop effect doesn't only add more noticeable impact on hits, but often also has practical gameplay benefiting applications as well. Let's quickly have a look at what hit stop looks like in a couple of different games that uses it. Now, compare that to Gambit that doesn't use hit stop. The game lets you get hit, but doesn't bother with letting you know it properly, and instantly returns the player into the action, vulnerable to more attacks when they are still processing the last hit that got them. When, for example, in Hollow Knight, it's almost impossible not to notice if you got a hit, since it leads to a heavy-handed hit stop effect doubled with the game sucking out and muffling the audio for a brief moment, to further signal it to the player. This effect can almost be annoyingly dramatic, but it serves its purpose well. I would rather have it annoy me a bit than not even noticing it happening. Having some variety for how many frames the screen will pause during the hit stop can be used to emphasize how strong the attack that just landed was, and will be instantly felt by the player. In Nier Automata, the hit stop is utilized mostly on the strongest hits, perfect dodges, and the hits that deal a killing blow on enemy mobs, letting the player know that they can move on to the next one. In fighting games like Guilty Gear, hit stop has multitude of benefits. Counter hits have longer hit stop effects since those lead to bigger punishes, so the player needs to notice when those occur clearly. Hit stop also gives you more time to process what inputs you're going to perform for your combos, and makes the buffering of those inputs way more manageable. This is even further emphasized by the limited animation style used to make the keyframes of the attack animations pop, which creates another layer of oomph into the attacks. This same effect is used for animations in Hollow Knight as well. I believe Gambit's combat could greatly benefit from hit stop. It would make receiving hits look more clear and give the player more time to react to what happened. It would also tighten the game's slight combo element when attacking the enemies. Let me try to demonstrate how Death's Gambit would look like with hit stop applied by using the magic of video editing. I understand that adding hit stop doesn't work that well for every game, since it's not the most elegant solution visually. And not everyone likes the hit stop effect. I know a couple of people myself who very much prefer more refined and longer, heavier animations for hit stun, for example, that basically drives the same purpose. But I really like hit stop, and especially in action games that have even a slight combo system in place, I think it's the best way to go in most cases. And after playing Death's Gambit, I appreciate proper impact feedback on hits a lot more. That's it. Thank you for watching and take care.